Hello and welcome to Random Thoughts and Observations. I'm your host, David E. McClendon Sr. And today we're going to talk about RC Cola. It's a staple in the South. If you're from the South, you've heard of RC Cola. Maybe not anywhere else, I don't know. But if you're from the South, you've heard of RC Cola. And the typical drink of your great Southern redneck is RC Cola. Of course, I grew up on Coca-Cola because I was from Atlanta. But RC Cola, and my beautiful child bride Suzanne grew up on Dr. Pepper because her daddy was a Dr. Pepper man. And so Dr. Pepper was her drink of choice for a while. But my father loved RC Cola. And in our town, you could get it, but for whatever reason, we didn't have RC Cola at the store. And so my father said to me, shortly after Suzanne, my child bride, and I got married, he said, David, he said, if you see the RC man in town, ask him to come and talk to me. And so I was out one day and I saw the RC Cola man at one of the local stores, and I said, my father up at the Western Auto Iowa would like to talk to y'all about having RC Cola at the store. And the guy said, I'll stop by there today. We never saw him again. A few months later, I was in Drennan's, the produce market there in Iowa, a great place to stop if it's still in business. It's a great place. It was owned by the Drennan family, good friends of ours. Anyway, I was in there and I asked, I said, okay, saw the RC man. How about when you get done here in town, stop by the store on your way out of town, the Western Auto, that we'd love to start carrying your RC Cola. Well, the guy had just started the route. He was very new. As a matter of fact, it was his first solo day in the town of Iowa. So he did just like I asked him after he finished up in town. He stopped by the store. And my father asked him, he said, what is the cheapest I can sell 2-liter drinks for? And the guy told him, you can sell them for 69 cents, but you have to buy 300 cases. And the deal is that every week when I come by, you build back up to that 300 cases. The first order is 300 cases, and every week when I come, you fill it back up to the 300 cases. My father said, okay, well, I like that idea. That's a good deal. And then he asked him, well, what's the cheapest I can sell a 6-pack of canned drinks for? And the guy, I believe his name was Alan, said, well, the cheapest you can sell it for is $1.39. But the same general idea, you have to buy 300 cases, and each week you have to fill back up to that 300 cases. And my father said, well, that sounds like a good deal. We'll do that. Anyway, so the guy got back. He made this, brought in the drinks for that, and like I said, it was his last call of the day, so what was left on the truck was perfectly fair game. It wasn't taken away from any of his other customers. Anyway, the guy got back to the office and his sales manager said, well, you'll never sell that many drinks out of a Western Auto store. I'm going to go down there and we're going to get ourselves out of this deal so we don't have to be doing that every week. He said, that's just foolishness. And you're going to be servicing this account at that cheap price of drink, bringing in maybe a 6-pack of cans every week, and that's it. And all week long, this sales manager had just been a general nerd or turd to his to Alan, the route salesman. And so on the appointed day for him to come back to Iowa, the route salesman came with him. He said, I'm going to show you how to deal with these kind of people. And he goes in, and I'm the one on the sales floor. I'm the manager in charge at the time. My father's out of the store. He says, where's all my drinks? I said, what? He says, all my RCs, where are they? So we sold them. He said, no, I'm talking about the ones in the back room. Where are they? I said, there are none in the back room, and we sold them all. He said, no, you got to have some drinks here somewhere. Where's the RC Cola drinks? I said, there are none. We sold them all. Matter of fact, we were hoping you'd stop by a whole lot earlier because we've been sold out for several days now. And the guy said, no, this can't happen. About that time, my father came in. And he said to my father, he said, where's all the drinks? He said, we don't have any more. We sold them out the next day. And we were hoping that you'd come back sooner. Maybe we need to double or even triple this order. And the guy's like, no. Says, well, where's the drinks? And he thought we were joking with him, but we weren't. We'd sold every single drink. As it turned out, after a couple of weeks, we were the highest RC sales in the entire office, which was out of Greenville, South Carolina. We sold more soft drinks than even the grocery stores were selling each week. And the reason being was because when people came in, we were pointing out the great deal on the sale, that it was a great sale. We were selling them for exactly what it cost us. And it was a great deal, and we pointed it out. And people would come by the store just to buy the drinks. Anyway, we sold more drinks than anybody else. Well, RC decided, hey, okay, maybe we need to put them a soft drink machine in. So they came out, and they paid for an outlet outside the store to set their soft drink machine out there. And we had a Coke machine out there that wasn't halfway working, and never could keep it working. And so I said, sure, we need a good soft drink machine out there. And they were just selling left and right, left and right. And after a couple of weeks, the Coca-Cola man came in, and he wondered why he wasn't selling as many drinks out of his machine. I said, well, most of the time your machine's not working. I called the maintenance people, and they won't come. And so most of the time the machine's not working. And he went out there, and he fiddled with it a little bit, got it working again. And a couple of weeks later, I had gotten tired of fooling with that machine. And I called Coke because I kept calling them and telling them, come and fix your machine, and they wouldn't do it. Come and fix your machine, and nobody ever showed up. So finally I called them and said, come and pick up your machine. And they said, okay, we've got to put in order for them to pick up the machine. And next week the Coke salesman came in. He asked for the keys to the machine, and I said, don't put any more drinks in the machine. We're not buying any more from you. He's like, what? And I said, don't put any more Cokes in the machine. We're not buying any more for you. And we were one of the better machines on his route. And he said, why? And I told him, so we can't get anybody down here to fix the machine. We don't want it if we're going to have to spend most of the time fixing it. We're selling all the drinks we need to out of the RC Cola machine. And so he got on the phone and he called. And the next day, the manager from the Coke sales called and said, listen, we understand you're having a problem with your machine. And I said, no, we're having a problem with your machine. You come and get it. And he said, well, we've got a deal. We're going to send you a brand new Coke machine and a brand new Diet Coke machine. And we're going to go ahead and install another outlet out there and pay you each month for the electricity for the outlet. But the deal is that our machine has to be located closer to your front door than the RC machine. And that sounded like a reasonable deal to me. I said, okay, go ahead. And I was a manager. I could accept this deal. But what he didn't know, and what I did know, is that most people didn't go from the front door of the store to buy the drinks. Most people came out of the shop to buy the drinks, which meant that they'd have to walk by the RC Cola machine that was selling 16-ounce non-returnable drinks for the same price that the Coke machine was selling canned drinks for. And who's going to pass up that kind of deal if the drinks are relatively equal? And so they sent a brand new RC machine, a brand new Coke machine, a brand new Diet Coke machine, paid to have it wired up, and they had sales, but they didn't have near as many sales as that RC machine did, because they did not realize that you need to study the market, that the people were not going to walk by the one machine and get a worse deal in the other two machines, except for if they really wanted a Coke. And that's the story of RC Cola and how it worked out at the store. Thank you very much, and drop us an email and let us know at gindysvideos@gmail.com. That's Gindys videos, Gindysvideos at Gindys. Doggone it, you'll figure it out. Gindys videos, Gindysvideos at gindysvideos@gmail.com, or Gindys videos. Forget all about it. Just find an email, send it somewhere. Who cares? Gindys videos, Gindysvideos at gmail.com. And we thank you. Drop us a comment in the box below, because we'll never get that email. Drop us a comment in the comment box below. We thank you. This is a Federal Trade Commission required notice. When you click on an advertisement that is displayed with this video, or just before it, we receive a small commission. Sometimes, if you merely watch an ad, we receive commission. If you purchase anything by clicking on links on any of our websites, we receive a commission as well. McClendon Studios is a participant in the Amazon Services LLC Associates Program, an affiliate advertising program designed to provide a means for sites to earn advertising fees by advertising and linking to Amazon.